first referee, Mr. Loomer Pajarillo. Second referee, Mr. Herbert Matematico. Let's call on our starting lineup from our CHERY TIGGO crossovers. Let's begin with their team captain, who wears jersey number 7, Mylene Paat. At number 4, Jasmine Nabor. Wearing jersey number 9, Energy Laure. Number 10, Rosel Baliton. Number 14, Zarina Grace Carandang. And number 17, guest player from Montenegro, Elena Sviovic. Libero, number 24, Buding Duremdes. Head coach, Mr. Clarence Aying Esteban. Presenting our PLDT high-speed hitters. Team captain wears jersey number 12, Rhea Katrina Di Maculangan. At number 3, Mika Irene Reyes. Wearing jersey number 4, Julian Marie Samonte. Number 10, Tony Rose Basas. Number 11, guest player from Russia, Elena Samoilenko. And number 13, Del Palomata. Libero, number 8, Kathleen Faye Arado. Head coach, Mr. George Pascua. This match is under the regulation and supervision of the Games and Amusements Board. Match number 33.
Starting lineup for your crossovers. A little change as EJ Laura is back in the starting lineup after coming off the bench, but she had 11 points in that loss versus Petrogas. So she replaces Shaya Dorador, who was in the starting lineup in their last game. Meantime, let's check out your high-speed hitters. It's the same starting lineup, I believe. I'm looking at them on the floor already. Jules Samonte has started to pick up her performance after not scoring against Akari. She had 9 points against Signal in that 4-set win, so she's back in the starting lineup. Ellie Soyud will be coming off the bench today. Mika Reyes coming off an 11-point performance. We mentioned Del Palomata with 15.
Eric, in their last game, itong mga spikers ng PLDT, 4 of them scored in double digits, almost 5 dahil itong si Samonte scored 9 points, but you know, it just goes to show how much they're peaking also towards the end of the eliminations.
In a situation like this, I mean, Mela, you played a lot, obviously. I mean, PLDT, as you look at the crossovers, they're assured of a semi-final slot. But if you're PLDT, you know, maybe there's a slim chance, maybe there's no chance. I mean, how do you approach a game like this?
Well, the coaches would always say to control the controllables. Kasi right now, the only thing that they could control is their efforts in this game. Kasi yun lang naman yung may scope sila. But the others, like the fate of the other teams, wala, hindi na nila hawak yun eh. So the best they can do is just really win this game today, and then whatever happens with the results of the other games.
So just, you know, try and finish strong. As you see Samoilenko with the point there. Mika Reyes with an attack error earlier, giving the crossovers their first point of the opening set.
And one thing I also noticed with PLDT, you know, in the earlier games, they were really relying on Samoilenko, and we haven't seen the amount of their middle game in their first few games, no? But now it's slowly getting back. We see Mika Reyes being care of the game, Del Palomata also giving in a lot of numbers. So yung branding, yung PLDT branding that we know of, na okay yung gitna, umabalik na, kaya gumaganda na rin yung resulta ng mga laro nila.
So what you're saying is that's the reason, more chemistry, better scoring balance for the team has allowed them to get their last 2 wins.
Definitely, and they're playing to their strengths, basically, di ba? Kasi yun nga, among the other teams, I guess, especially last conference, yun yung naging strength nila, yung middle game nila. Of course, naming Del and Mika as the best MVs from last conference, but this conference, nakahabol sila. They're actually the top scorers nga, top local scorers in their team next to Samoilenko, of course, being the #2 scorer of the league.
In the meantime, you're looking at Seviovic. There's Chin Basas ready to serve. Basas coming off a 10-point performance after only scoring 2 points versus Akari. But if you're the crossovers, lost 2 straight, 2 of the last 3 games, you're assured of a semi-final slot as Laura catches the line. I mean, are you going to be worried about if you're Coach Clarence Esteban? Should you be worried about something?
Well, every loss, dapat talaga may worry ka dyan eh. Especially ngayon, napapunta na tayo sa semifinals, you know. As much as you're assured of the semifinal slot, how are you gonna perform in that round, diba? So, you know, the remaining games, the rate that things are going on for CHERY TIGGO, napaka-importante talaga kung mananalo sila or matatalo. Kasi maka-carry over nila yun eh, unless they put a stop to it.
Does it really affect you? I mean, if you're coming off 2 losses and then semifinals happens today, does it really affect your game today, how you performed yesterday and the day before?
Well, it depends on their preparation also. Kasi, you know, some teams, especially when they come off from losses, they would book mga sports psychology sessions. And those things really work and they make a big difference. That's why sometimes when you see teams coming off from big losses and bouncing back big time, it's from their preparation, both in training and in mental training as well. So, yung iba naman, like in the case of Signal in the past conferences, they would peak in the eliminations, they would sweep it, but come semifinals, diba, doon naman bumababa yung kanilang peak. So it really depends on the cycle of preparation.
Mylene Paat scoring the last point, making it a 3-point advantage for the crossovers. Palomata is blocked. But is there such a thing as just switching it on?
But for some athletes, yeah, especially those who are mentally strong or mentally capable na talagang mag-switch on lang every time na, you know, bad incidents
Kung kailangan ng panalo. Let's go to Rain Tixon.
A week ago, the high-speed hitters' run into the postseason was bleak. Now, PLDT has a fighting chance to make it to the semifinals. This may be a do-or-die game, but that can easily get the best of a team. But this group of veterans choose to stay calm and composed despite the high stakes. PLDT said that they have to take it one step at a time, one game at a time. Let's see if the high-speed hitters can start strong here at the opening set.
All right, thank you, Rain. There's no ifs and buts about it, really. I mean, it's a must-win as Shai Adorador sees action for the first time. Samoilenko has been superb all throughout this conference. Paat, di makulangan, mistiming her jump and giving a 3-point here to Paat.
Good eye there by Mylene Paat. Really has to step up today, especially with EJ Laure. Medyo nagiging inconsistent with her game as we saw. Ito nga si Shai Adorador come in. And there's also, I believe, din Santiago Manabat also is in the bench right now. So a big pressure on Mylene Paat and for Shai Adorador as well to step up and fill in those shoes.
That is overhit by Jules Samonte. Several attack errors early here for the high-speed hitters. They're down by 3 still. Mylene Paat out of Bani, Pangasinan. That's an over-receive and Nabor putting it away. Crossovers leading by 4 early against the high-speed hitters in the opening set.
Ginaganon-ganon yung bola mo, abot-abot niya. Kung yan, ano.
Switch to Signal Postpaid for more super loaded bonding moments. Get free 3 months and more when you subscribe today. Call 8888-5555 now. 8-4 on the Maylin Pa at serve. Another over receive and an easy put away this time by Shaya Adorador.
Great performance by Maylin Pa on the service line. Pangalawang regalo na yan. Kanina yung pinalo ni Jasmine Abor, and this time around an over receive and great reaction also from Shaya Adorador.
Much better receive this time. Samonte is rejected. Arado is there for coverage. Samoylenko back row. Sivijevic picking it up. Durendes passes. Maylin Pa. Arado with a dig. Samonte against 2 blockers. Cross court is outside.
Great read there by Buding Durendes. There was clearly no spin on that ball from Joel Samonte. Great decision to let that ball go.
Another attack error for PLDT as they continue to struggle here with their offense. They're down by 6 already, the biggest lead for the crossovers. Receive error from Basas, and Coach Pascua has seated up. He will call his first timeout at 11-4 of the opening set.
Relax lang, huwag nag-receive. Huwag masyadong tayo sa receive. Makuha lang natin na receive, may magbabago. Okay? So first ball muna, kunin muna natin yung first ball. Kasi hindi tayo magpo-connect kung walang first ball. Then, anticipate nyo na. Yung bola, binibigay lang sila na short, yung half mountain pa. May tataas lang, malaking bagay. Ha? Okay, let's go. Taas muna, dahan-dahan. Kennedy!
Coach Pascua wants to get things in order here. I mean, he's just saying it's a short serve. Let's get a good pass, get our offense going, because this is now a 7-point deficit against the high-speed hitters, Mela.
And the majority came from the heavy serves of Maylin Pa. That was actually her first ace, pero yung mga naunang serves niya doon, very heavy and even resulted to a point for CHERY TIGGO. But this time around, that was an easy point there from Samoylenko, just seeing that donut hole from the defense of CHERY TIGGO.
Samoylenko using all of that 6'5" frame for that easy tip across the net. That stops at 4-point run by PLDT. They were only up by 3 earlier. Underhand pass goes to Shaya Adorador. Palomata picking it up, not a good pass. Here comes Samoylenko. This is an easy over. Chance ball for the crossovers. Nabor. Karandang is rejected by Samonte. Excellent defense by Jules.
Great coverage there, and ang ganda rin ng aral doon ni Jules Samonte, and very well read on that running short set to Zakarandang. So far at this point, we have yet to see some impact from Zakarandang. We built her up so much in the pre-game, of course, being the number 12 scorer of the league.
A little 2-point run here for the high-speed hitters. 1-2 play for Jasmine Abor. That stops the run by PLDT.
Great strategy from Jasmine Abor. Usually those 1-2 plays would just land in a very short area, no, medyo sa may harapan. But that time, she really acknowledged that the defense was compressed in front and seeing that hole at the back of the defense.
Let's check in again with Rain Tixon.
Noticeably not on the floor is former team captain of the crossovers, Dindin Santiago Manabat. Now, team staff told me that she's under health and safety protocol but will be cleared right before the finals. Sorry, before the semifinals. Back to the panel.
All right, thank you, Rain. She was not in the lineup, talking about Dindin Manabat in their last game. That was against Petrogas. That's a 5-set loss. So we wish her well and speedy recovery to Dindin Manabat. And right now, so far, her crossovers are cruising. They are up by 7 still. Zakarandang punches it through and scores her first point of the match. This is now an 8-point deficit against the high-speed hitters. Sivijevic with the attack. Mika Reyes blocked by Sivijevic. Samoilenko back row. Pat with a dig. Shaya back row. Samoilenko picks it up. Here comes Samonte. Shaya. Oh, great save, but it just goes outside for Carandang.
Ganda naman ang kapit at depensa doon ng CHERY TIGGO, but lack of control on that last touch from Carandang. And both teams actually doing well with their blockings, no? Kahit no kill blocks, pero ang ganda ng mga checks and both teams are able to do counter attacks.
Lima kulangan.
CHERY TIGGO number 6 in blockings. Meanwhile, PLDT number 2 naman in that department.
That is just outside for Sivijevic. They are going to challenge the call. There's a block touch. So our first challenge coming from the crossovers. 2 challenges per set for every team. That will not be carried over though if you don't use it.
They could actually extend more challenges if it's constantly successful.
Successful, yeah.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't go away if it's successful.
Yeah.
You still keep it. But if you're unsuccessful,
Yeah.
you lose one.
So you can challenge every time kahit 10 beses basta lahat
But the
puro
successful.
tama.
That's
Oo.
right.
The challenge that CHERY TIGGO is trying to call is for block touch. But definitely basing it from our view, no, in terms of in or out, outside talaga yung
definitely
bola na
outside,
yun.
yeah.
So I think this is a good call also to challenge if yung bola na yun ay na-block or there was a touch. Sometimes kasi it's also to, to cut off then the momentum, especially when the other team is making a streak.
23 cameras, high-speed cameras in total around the court. There are 4 by the net already, 2 on each side. Biggest lead by the crossovers was 8 points. It's just down to 7. Review team trying to look for footage. There's Clarence Esteban, head coach of the crossovers. UAAP season 73 MVP and best blocker. Here we go. I don't think there is any. So unsuccessful challenge for Coach Esteban and the crossovers.
That's 1 down for CHERY TIGGO crossovers. They have 1 more challenge left. But that point is going to go to PLDT off of that attack error by Sivijevic. And you know, this is one thing that they have to be mindful of, their errors dahil in that loss against the Petrogas Angels, their team actually committed 30 errors compared to 18 errors of the Angels.
Sivijevic redeems herself with a cross-court hit.
Definitely no touch on that one. That was a clean cross-court hit. Great angle as well. And look at the setting of Jasmine Abor. Ang bilis. It's a low fast set there for Sivijevic. She responds well.
15-8 crossovers. There's a solid block, Sivijevic against Samonte. 16-8 crossovers lead the high-speed hitters here in the first set. Take a look at the V-reel of Mylene Baat. Photos from the past few days. Appreciating her team and what she's been up to as well. Crossovers right now leading 16-8 versus the high-speed hitters. First game of our Thursday doubleheader here at the Mall of Asia Arena, Pasay City. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching us. Eric Pan with Mela Tunay and Rain Tixon. Mika Reyes coming off an 11-point performance. She has scored in double digits in the last 2 games, 15 versus Akari in the game previous. Underhand pass by Arado to Samonte. Great decision for the off-speed attack after getting blocked earlier. That's into the net for Mylene Paat.
Again, those errors starting to pile up for CHERY TIGGO. They have a big lead here, but they have to be mindful of those errors, like I mentioned earlier, as we see Prado checking in for Jules Samonte.
Jovi Prado, 1 point. She played off the bench in that 4-set win versus Signal. She was one of the starters at the start of the conference, but
she's actually replacing itong si Fiolo Ceballos, who's been you know, one of the go-to spikers also and the all-around players of PLDT, but then suffered an injury in one of their games.
down the line for Sivijevic.
So the good thing for CHERY TIGGO is that itong si Sivijevic has been producing the numbers. Usually it would be EJ Laure. As we know, si Sivijevic naman hindi siya yung top scorer talaga ng team. It's Mylene Paat. But looking at it, it's a more collective effort kasi when it comes to scoring for this team. And look at Buding Dorentes with that one-hand save.
And a solid kill block for Samoylenko.
But itong si Jasmine Amor letting that ball go. She could have gone to it, but she decided to let it go. Kala niya outside. Sabi nga ng mga coaches, when in doubt, just get the ball.
PLDT trying to mount a comeback here. They were down by as many as 8. Paat. Reyes with a dig. Palomata with a high dump. Paat again. Reyes with another dig. Samoylenko with a power push. Nabor off to the other side. Paat with a tip.
See, tough set for Paat. Medyo sumobra.
One of the longest rallies so far in the opening set. And Sivijevic gets it off the Samoylenko block.
You know, she wanted that one. Makita mo talaga yung eagle niya doon sa swing niya. Talagang she went for that full swing and using the hands of the blockers. Dahil kung pinalo niya talaga yan ng solid, may hirapan siya because of the two blockers. Very two tall blockers, no? And pinatama niya na lang dun sa forearm with less control, of course, from Samoylenko.
Samoylenko will try. Sivijevic with a dig. Adorador. Palomata. That's dug up by Duremdes. Sivijevic with a save. Going to be an easy over. Samoylenko. There's a net touch against the crossovers.
CHERY TIGGO was actually playing good defense, of course, with Buding Doremdes and even Shaya Adorador chipping in a few digs. Pero someone committed the violation, a net violation, and again, it's those errors that have been killing their momentum.
Mylene Paat with the net touch as Semana. And Soyud will check in for Pasas and Dimakulangan.
That familiar double sub for PLDT. And look at the front line of PLDT. The height of Soyud, Palomata, and Samoylenko.
Adorador. There's Semana set up to Soyud. Cross court, that's outside for Eli Soyud. Eli Soyud only scored a point in the win versus Signal. Meantime, a substitution as well for the crossovers as May Luna will check in. Scored 2 points off the bench in the loss versus Petrogas.
Oh. Lack of juice on that jump serve. And Luna is going to be replaced by Buding Doremdes, who was fielded in for that role. But, you know, minsan may jitters din dun sa mga service specialist, of course, coming off the bench and being cold.
Is that one of the most pressure-packed positions, Mela? Service specialist. You're cold off the bench. and you're
And you have one job
yeah,
to
you're,
do,
you're
diba?
put on the floor to score a point off your serve.
To score a point, or at least make it hard for your opponent to set up plays. But if you get an error, para instead of making it hard for them, you give them the easiest way to
That's
get
right.
a point.
Soyud, attack error earlier. There's a dig by
Oh.
Paat that falls short, and a point for the high-speed hitters.
Missed time there by Jasmine Abor. Hindi nahawakan ng ayos yung bola. And let's take a look at this. Elisoid attack. Paat was there, but lack of control. It was a moving dig. And hindi nagawa ng paraan ni Nabor.
Still a 7-point deficit against Palomata and the rest of the high-speed hitters. 1-2 play. Save by Palomata is no good.
She actually read that well, no? Pero syempre, yung ball control ng mga middles natin, it's not always at par with the liberos or the wing players. So that was a good decision there by Jasmine Abor. Sometimes you really have to mark it every time na you know that a middle blocker is there to defend. Kasi imagine how many points you could get off from that position.
Samana sets it up. Mika Reyes will score.
Speaking of getting points, Mika Reyes being as efficient as always. Easy, quick there. And, you know, we just love to see the connection that she's had with both setters, talking about Semana and Limacolangan. The disparity also in terms of the attack points. 14 for CHERY TIGGO and 4 from PLDT. They've mostly gotten their points off from blocks. They have 3 blocks now. But 7 errors from the CHERY TIGGO crossovers. And you'd want to make your own points as well, diba? Generated from your own points. But they're gonna take those 3 points from CHERY TIGGO.
Chinbasas getting it through the block. It was a pretty loose block by Sevijovic and Karandang. She found a hole in the middle. 6 points. The deficit high-speed hitters want to erase here. Good serve, but a better receive there by Adorador. Prado. Yes, back-to-back points here for the high-speed hitters.
Started off with that very sharp serve, and ang ganda rin ng counter-attack dito ng PLDT using the right hand of Jasmine Abor. As we know, ito si Jovi Prado, very potent to really use the blockers. And it's very common with much shorter players talaga, no, to be very smart with their attacks.
Another good serve by Dimaculangan. Karandang. Samoylenko from the back row. Nabor with the pass. Sevijovic. Samoylenko with a dig. Difficult get for Dimaculangan, and that ends that 3-point run of the high-speed hitters.
There's actually a collision between Mika Reyes and Rhea Dimaculangan, and mabilis yung depensa na yun, so hindi na inabot ni Rhea Dimaculangan as PLDT calls for a timeout. They are down here 16-22.
Then, yung first ball, iangat muna natin habang paatras yung ano, yung out mga spikers natin. Dalawa natin. Then enjoy! Enjoy! Enjoy nila tight eh.
Kailangan natin!
Kailangan natin to, ladies. Kailangan natin. Okay, PLDT.
That's the final timeout for Coach George Pascua. And the crossovers just 3 points away from taking set number 1. First game of our Thursday doubleheader. Crossovers want to snap a 2-game losing streak. Meanwhile, the high-speed hitters want to keep on winning. This is their 3rd straight game. They've won 2 straight. Back row, Mylene Paat with a push. Arado with a dig. Here comes Mika Reyes. Yes!
She was checked the first time, but making sure she gets it off from that second set. You know, Mika Reyes and her transitions has been really effective for PLDT.
This is the closest the high-speed hitters have been in a while. They are within 5, but that serve will hurt.
Fifth error of PLDT. They're actually building a momentum, no? Staying close after being down by around 8 points. They were playing catch-up and getting to it, but those kinds of errors aren't going to help.
Di makulangan. Samoylenko gets it through the double block. Sivijevic, Prado with coverage. Chance ball here for Sivijevic. Yes!
Great job by Sivijevic. And this is a much better offensive game for her in general. Finding the delay in the block. The blockers are there actually, pero yung pag-angat nila to block that ball was a bit late. And Sivijevic taking advantage as TIGGO is now on set point.
Di makulangan to Mika Reyes. What a dig by Durendes. Chance ball here for Di makulangan. Here comes Samoylenko with a push. Samoylenko finds the hole and saves 1 of 7 set points.
You know, PLDT, they have actually gotten a lot of points in that big donut hole from the middle. Diyan actually nagsimula yung puntos ng PLDT sa miscommunication between the defenders. But it's always that area na hindi nila nakukuha yung mga atake nitong PLDT.
Good pass by Sivijevic. She gets it back. Sivijevic. And there's another tip at the net. Samoylenko back-to-back points for the high-speed hitters.
They're now down by 6 points. But again, it's that quick reaction from Samoylenko targeting the same problem area on the defense pattern of CHERY TIGGO.
2 set points saved. 5 more to go if you're PLDT.
We've watched crazier things happen here in the PVL, so let's see if they manage.
Oh, Samoylenko back-to-back points. 3rd set point saved. And the high-speed hitters within 4. Coach Clarence Esteban will call his first timeout of the opening set.
Natin dito. Okay? Sige na, saan ang maliit na spy ng blocker mo? Nandun sa dulo. Maylin, sa'yo na yung mag-ano dyan. Kumuha ka lang ng middle, kunin mo na si Maya. Gumandahan mo yung pasok. Ready ka lang dito, 5. Okay? Yeah, ready. Okay, wala na tayong play. Pag sumama sa gitna, bato mo na kay Maylin. Tapusin mo na yung ano.
Okay, good.
Game tayo, game guys ha.
Ready lang ka.
Kailangan natin tapusin yan ha. One good pass muna.
Cherry! Divine!
All right, there's a play drawn up. We heard the name of Mylene getting called, but it is imperative they get a good pass first. Otherwise, it's going to be an off-system play.
Actually, ang instruction nga sa kanila is huwag na mag-play. Just go with the basic play. And Coach Esteban really relying on Mylene Pa to just finish it off.
Mylene Paat, one of the most prolific scorers for the crossovers, coming off a 21-point performance, 14 prior to that versus the cool Smashers. Paat, ball still alive. Chance here for another set point save. Samoylenko battling at the net. That's going to be a lift against Samoylenko, clearly.
Kasi constant joust. Nagpabalik-balik na yung bola on top of the net between Baliton and Samoylenko. But it seems like...
they're not even jumping anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That's how tall these girls are. Samoylenko is 6'5". Baliton is at least 6'1". So, off a lift error there by Samoylenko. It's a 25-20 win by the crossovers against the high-speed hitters. 25-20 crossovers over the high-speed hitters in 31 minutes here at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. First game of our Thursday doubleheader, and we take a look at the highlights of the opening set.
Well, obviously, that first set was dominated by CHERY TIGGO in terms of attacks, and they've mostly gotten the leads all throughout the set, but there was a scare towards the end, and unfortunately, it ended in a, you know, parang not so traditional way. First time ko makakita ng ganung klaseng just between players, but nonetheless, we saw also some highlights from PLDT, especially with Mika Reyes and her hits, and Samoilenko also identifying the problem area of CHERY TIGGO's defense. So let's see if they get to maximize coming to this second set.
We take a look at the numbers after the first set.
And ito nga sa atake, 15-10. But, you know, before the end of that set, napakalayo talaga. Single point lang yung attack points nitong PLDT, but buti nakahabol sila sa dulo. But like I mentioned, blocks talaga, and yung kanilang middle game, ang kanilang strength. And again, it's very much reflected here in the first set. They had 4 blocks compared to 2, but the aces also of CHERY TIGGO, one coming from Mylene Paat. And you know, even when their serves do not result to aces, ang dami rin talagang mga mabibigat na hindi nare-receive ng maayos itong PLDT.
High-speed hitters, one of their main problems early in the opening set was the attack errors. So let's see if they can turn it around. Coach Pascua will rely heavily on, number one, the setting of veteran setter Rhea Di Maculangan, and of course, the leadership of Mika Reyes. Let's see how they bounce back here against Mylene Paat.
Meanwhile, we haven't seen the third local best scorer for CHERY TIGGO on the floor, talking about EJ Laure. She was replaced earlier by Shaya Dorador, and you know, Shaya did a decent job filling in her role. She's had a couple of attacks, but she was a big contributor also when it comes to defense. She's going to continue to play here in the second set for the crossovers, as Boding Duremdes also has had a lot of digs alongside Sivijovic, who previously, fun fact para sa ating mga viewers, no, itong si Sivijovic now previously played libero in one of her teams, so that explains her defensive prowess for CHERY TIGGO.
That time around, it's pure offense for Yelena Sivijovic as she gets the first point of the crossovers here in set number 2.
She's had a lot of attacks already in this game. And, you know, I think yung pagka wala ni EJ Laure on the floor also forced itong si Sivijovic to have more sets also from Jasmine Nabor. Kasi right now, majority of the sets are just going to Paat and Sivijovic.
Samoilenko with a hit there. Underhand set for Nabor. A push by Sivijovic. Samoilenko picking it up. Di Maculangan to Basas. Duremdes will set it for Paat. There is a net touch going to be called against Samoilenko.
Amin dyan si Samoilenko, but the great angles taken also by Mylene Paat. Ang nipis ng mga kinukuha niyang angles. They're up by 2 here, starting off strong, and this is Paat and the CHERY TIGGO crossovers.
Mika Reyes' attack is good, and this is what you like if you're PLDT. I mean, they may have allowed the crossovers to start 2-0, but their offense looking better at the beginning of set number 2.
Definitely, and they really have to bank on their strength. Lalo na paulit-ulit ko sinasabi yung middles ang kanilang strength, and it seems like, you know, we haven't seen Karandang play her usual game, and Baliton hasn't been able to, you know, contain the middle attacks also of both Palongata and Mika Reyes. And this time that defense error is going to result to a PLDT point. We are now tied at 2.
Mika Reyes, one of only 2 players who impressed King Whale Taipei coach Yang Min when they were here in the previous conference. That is low of a pass for Mylene Paat. Another error for the crossovers as we check in with Rain Tixon.
A little fun fact about the crossovers. Before every game here in the Reinforced Conference, the team attends Mass together to give thanks and to ask for guidance for their next matchup. This was a tradition initiated by team captain Mylene Paat at the start of the conference. After attending training, the crossovers go straight to the church in UST. So Mylene's post featured in today's V-Reel is just a glimpse of an ongoing tradition of the crossovers. Let's go back to more volleyball action here in set number 2.
Thank you, Rain. That's good to hear.
Para going into the game, you know that you have the proper mindset also, and that you do it as a team. That also has a impact, a spiritual impact, of course. In sports, it's not just the physical factors playing roles.
Nabor, a little combination play. Mylene Paat with the push. First taste of the lead here for the high-speed hitters. They're up by 2. Seviovic, cross-court, dug up by Basas. Not a good pass, though. Samoilenko over 2 blockers. Duremdes picking it up. Paat again. Good approach by Prado. Here comes Basas. Cross-court, yes!
Chinchin Basas. She actually scored off while Rain was reporting, pero that was her second point now for PLDT here in the second set. Only having 1 blocker there, and itong si Seviovic at Paat weren't able to transition to their original position. So si Paat nasa open, Seviovic nasa opposite, as Alina Bicar sees action to replace Jasmine Abor after committing that defense error. And yet another point coming up from Tika Reyes with that service ace. Putting the Remdes, just looking at it, it seemed like it was gonna sail out. But like a perfect floater, it just drops right on the line.
Biggest lead for the high-speed hitters right now at 4. 6 serving 2. Seviovic, that's into the net. Timeout here by Clarence Esteban. His team is down by 5.
Malayo pa naman, sige lang. Pero kailangan natin maka-recover. Kailangan natin maka-atake ng maganda. Okay? Kung hindi na maganda i-receive, spikers, gawa ng paraan kung ano dapat natin gawin doon. Okay? Yung killer instinct, gamitin nyo na kung ano dapat gawin. Halina, ikaw na dumiskarte kung ano yung play. Spikers, ready agad. Okay? Kailangan ng maganda receive para maka-advance tayo. Okay? Let's go, let's go.
Sumasan mo na maganda.
Cherry!
All right, so Alina Bicar is going to be on her shoulders. There's Priscilla Rivera and Coach De Brito of the Akari Chargers. This team obviously out of contention for a semi-final slot, but what a series of games they've, given the fans, especially Rivera. What a performance. Oh, 40-something points she poured in. 44.
It's a league record, and of course, very inspiring looking at 2 former Olympians on our screens, and of course, scoring that big win as they end their PVL Reinforced campaign, their first ever campaign, and defeating one of the top teams as well in FT Logistics.
Basas, cross court, that's dug up by Adorador. Paat, Di Maculangan picking it up. Samoilenko, this is a chance ball for the crossover spot. Good floor defense here by the high-speed hitter. Samoilenko knocks it in.
Samoilenko quick to react on that C-set. And they're gonna go to the first technical timeout and leading by 6 over CHERY TIGGO.
Watch and support Gilas Pilipinas live at the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023. Follow My Team Pass Philippines is now available to give you access to all 5 Gilas games in the preliminary round. Purchase your tickets via register.worldcup.basketball. #win for all.
Finally, a quick attack from CHERY TIGGO. Baliton scoring off that a quick. And we need to see more of this, no? Dahil kung napapansin nyo, ang ganda rin ng mga checks, ng mga block checks itong PLDT. So, they need more options as well.
Oh, a nice one-handed set there for Dimakulangan. But wait a minute. There's an overreach against, I think it was Dimakulangan.
So, let's take a look at this replay. Parang inabot na kasi ni Dimakulangan from the other side of the court. As much as natouch pa rin ni Palumata to have that attempt to attack it. Pero, yeah, violation is gonna be called. And on the other hand, ito naman si Shai Adorador continuing to step up here for CHERY TIGGO. That was a clean down-the-line hit.
Now a 3-point game. Samoilenko. Overpass there by Adorador. Here comes Samoilenko again. Vicar with a touch. Adorador. Samoilenko. Another long rally in the making. A dump attempt by Baliton. Arado passes Samoilenko. She has had 100% of the touches in this rally for the high-speed hitters.
That was a good block touch by Mylene Paat. Of course, stopping a reinforcement. Malaking bagay na yung na-check nyo, but everyone was just talagang hindi prepared doon to recover that ball. Again, it's the same side eh.
Yeah.
Whether it's from drops, block checks, wala talagang kumukuha on that side of CHERY TIGGO.
Baliton with back-to-back points.
So it's good to see Baliton also chipping in for CHERY TIGGO crossovers. As we haven't seen much from Karandang yet, but she has the opportunity now. She's in the front line, so let's see if, with Alina Vicar now doing the playmaking on the floor, let's see if there's a different gameplay for the CHERY TIGGO crossovers.
Baliton coming off a 2-point performance. Samoilenko down the line. Yes.
There's something different with the way Samoilenko attacks her, does her attacks. But it's very efficient. Iba rin yung tunog eh. But this time around, inintay niya talaga na palagpasin yung bola, yung set ng bola bago niya paluin down the line, avoiding the blockers.
Vicar to Karandang. You were looking for her offense. That was dug up by Nieza Viray. There's a block against Prado.
Jovi Prado attempting to use Mylene Paat's hands para magpa-check. Makikita mo yung follow-through niya eh. May attempt talaga na ipa-swipe, but look at the effort, the conscious effort of Mylene Paat's right hand to really have that follow-through after contacting the ball, but she is gonna commit an error in the service line. PLDT is still up by 4 here.
It was 3 just before the service error by Paat. That's the closest Coach Esteban has been in a while. They were down by as many as 6 early here in set number 2. That is why Coach Esteban called their first timeout early. De Leon is in the game for the first time. Did not play in their win versus Signal. Karandang! Yes!
In this whole league, ang gumagawa lang ng ganyang play ay itong si Karandang. And sometimes, very rare times, si Ria Meneses. But it's very effective. Look at the delay and the confusion among the blockers. Talagang napapakagat. And she usually does this when Alina Vicar is on the floor. So, those little factors nagiging... those little things, rather, malaki din na nagiging epekto sa momentum nitong CHERY TIGGO.
Dimakulangan to Prado. That's gonna be off the block. Adorador with the dig. Bicar goes to the middle. Zakarandang back-to-back points. It's just a 2-point game now.
Alina Bicar really making use of her weapons well. In the first set, we haven't seen those kinds of sets, those kinds of attacks, but Alina Bicar changing things up. And it's a luxury to have, you know, both talented setters in Nabor and Bicar in your lineup. And see the magic that they do.
Oh, every time the crossovers come up close, they commit an error. Earlier, it was a Mylene Paat service error. Now, another one.
And, you know, we've been saying it since the coverage started, but itong ang CHERY TIGGO has to be mindful of those errors. Kanina, even when they committed more errors, they managed to make up for it in attacks but the ratings are going lamang ang PLDT dito. They really need to avoid making those errors.
6 errors in the opening set for the crossovers. Paat with a dig. Another pass to Karandang that's picked up by Basas. They go to Prado. One-handed dig for Paat. Sevijevic down the line. Samoilenko with an excellent dig. Prado off speed. Another right in the middle point for Jovi Prado.
To all the teams scouting CHERY TIGGO for the semifinals, Zone 6 might be a very important, you know, area for you guys to cover. Dahil nakailang puntos na ang PLDT dyan since the game started. And they haven't found a solution up to now.
Back to a 4-point advantage for the high-speed hitters. Their lead was biggest at 6. Nice serve from Di Maculangan. Underhand set, off-system play. Paat from the back row. Oh, but she delivers.
Rhea Di Maculangan a bit out of position on that one. Actually, she was in the right place, but she moved her body as she defended that ball. Hindi naharapan yung mismong spiker.
That service out again. And just so many errors for the crossovers here in the second set.
It's a very different storyline, no? Dahil in the first set, it was actually CHERY TIGGO with a much effective service game. But this time, PLDT with 2 aces. And on the other hand, itong CHERY TIGGO, instead of scoring off from aces, talagang mas more on errors.
5 errors so far for the crossovers here in set number 2. Remember, they had 6 already in the first set. And we're only halfway in set number 2, and they already have almost that number. Sevijevic blocked. Durendes with coverage. Got tangled up with Bicar for a moment. Viray with the dig. Combination play. Samoilenko. Yes!
So we're very used to seeing high sets to Samoilenko. But during long rallies, it's a great decision also by Rhea Di Maculangan to always go with that low fast set. And Samoilenko almost always delivers a point from that kind of set.
Back to a 5-point lead for the high-speed hitters. The crossovers threatened at within 2, but now it's back to the biggest lead of the high-speed hitters at 6 points. 16-10 as we take our second technical timeout. Service ace by Jovi Prado right there. 16 for the high-speed hitters, 10 for the crossovers. We're back inside the Mall of Asia Arena, Pasay City, our venue for your Thursday doubleheader in the Reinforced Conference of the PVL. Right now, Sevijevic and the crossovers down by 6 against Mika Reyes. And the high-speed hitters, Bingo Plus, the first live streaming bingo in the Philippines. Viray. There's an easy over by Samoilenko. Baliton is blocked by Samoilenko. Durende sends it to Sivijevic. Down the line. It's probably one of the slowest spikes so far, but that was effective.
You mentioned that no blockers even to go up against Sivijevic. But she scores off that very smart and well-placed down-the-line hit. As we also saw in this replay na ang daming pinipit na bola nitong ni Vicar sa kanyang mga middles and just leaves the PLDT blockers guessing on who to block.
And again, Mika Reyes down right in the middle.
Mika Reyes really making sure of the time she's in the front line and scoring as much as she can from attacks, from blocks, and even, you know, those easy points that she could get.
6-point advantage for Mika Reyes, and the high-speed hitters matches their biggest lead of the set.
Already with 5 points, so from 3 attacks and 2 aces, make that 3 aces for Mika Reyes. And the lead is starting to balloon here for PLDT. They are 7 points up as the CHERY TIGGO crossovers call for a timeout.
Nangyayari na sa atin. Yung enjoyment natin, hindi na masaya doon sa loob ng court. Sinasarili nyo na yung ano nyo. Magsalita na magsalita para maabutan natin yun. Yung hindi kayo nagsasalit, hindi tayo nagko-communicate doon sa loob, hindi tayo mananalo dyan. Kailangan natin yung communication. Tumigil tayo sa communication natin. Kanya-kanya na yung nangyayari doon sa loob ng court. Eh. Ngayon, pag isiset kay Alina, hingi ng bola. Kung papalo, hingi ng bola. Naka-ready lahat. Sa re-receive, Alina, pag sinong sumayo, di bigay mo na ibigay. Kaya activate natin yung, kung maganda receive, activate natin yung play. Walang problema para matake tayo.
Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Let's go! Enjoy nyo yung
Hey,
bali.
Jenny! Smile! Smile, guys! Smile!
That's the last timeout for Coach Clarence Esteban and the crossovers. And there's still a lot of volleyball to be played here in set number 2. This is now the biggest lead of the high-speed hitters at 7 points. Mylene Paat and the rest have their work cut out for them here.
Yes, De Leon also on the floor now for PLDT.
Mika Reyes coming off a service ace. This time that's well received. Paat block. Sivijevic. That's dug up by Prado. De Leon will set it up for Basas. Oh! Really bad miss hit there for Chin Basas.
Itong si Chin Basas kasi she has this distinct way of her spike approach also. So usually yung timing niya yung pang mababang set talaga, and she's noticeably struggling kapag yung matataas na sets ang naibibigay sa kanya.
Service ace! That's something Sivijevic and the crossovers need right now, an easy point.
Sivijevic doing everything here for CHERY TIGGO. Si Mylene Paat, not the usual production that we used to see from her.
Di makulangan to the middle. Jessie De Leon will score her first point of the match.
Great target there by De Leon. Right in the end line. Kasi usually the defense pattern for quick attacks, compressed sa harap yung mga defenders eh.
A substitution here for the high-speed hitters. Semana will check in, but not with Soyo. This time we're seeing Erica Santos. For the first time, she did not play against Signal out of DLSU. Just 22 years old. Meantime, Semana, a veteran out of FEU. Vicar will set it up. Adorador dug up by Semana. Viray will pass it. Santos. Nice cut shot for Erica Santos. Still cold off the bench, but she delivers.
Didn't even jump to attack that ball, but nonetheless, a lot of ball control in that one. And again, targeting the same area, that middle area, or the zone 6 from the defense pattern of CHERY TIGGO.
Back to the biggest lead at 7 points for the high-speed hitters. Mylene Paat will cut that down to 6.
Mylene Paat, clearly, na-mention nga natin, not the usual point production from her. She's basically been marked well by the blockers of PLDT. And they're playing to their strength, no? Yun nga mga block touches and kill blocks sila. But this time around, Mylene Paat finding a way to score off the hands of Samoilenko.
Baliton with a good serve. Samoilenko blocked by Adorador. Semana chases it down. Back to Samoilenko. Blocked again by Adorador. Santos. Oh, what an excellent Zero tempo play there for Carandang, but the ball is still alive. Rally continues. Bicar, back set. Paat, blocked by Santos. What a rally. Adorador through the block, and she scores.
Alina Bicar has to be credited for half the point dahil yung kanyang opposite setting played a big factor there. And with a strong blocking team like PLDT, you really have to separate the blockers. So nakita niya, nag-set siya kay Maylin Paat, nag-set siya kay Carandang, and right after setting off Paat, setting off the opposite side in Shaya Dorador, and just really converting off from that set.
2 straight points for the crossovers. Let's see if they can continue this run. Adorador. That is outside, but there's a net touch going to be called against Samoilenko. So 3 straight points for the crossovers. Coach Pasco will call a timeout. His 7-point lead is down to 4.
Di ba rin nakaka-receive nandito? Huwag na malapit sa net kasi back row ang setter natin. And then, pag nakita nyo, malapit sa net, middle, commit kayo. Intindihan ngayon, pag nagbalik ang Erica, stay ka lang muna. Pabayaan mo bumlock dito si Lena muna. Huwag muna kayo mag-switch. Ngayon, pagka may charge yun, doon kayo mag-switch. Intindihan. Tapos, pag nandito si Lena, hindi naman sa papaluan siya. Ang laki-laki yan eh. So, ready tayo sa drop ball, ha? Hakbang lang ang paa. Yun ang key doon. Hakbang yung paa. Hindi nyo pwedeng abutin ng kamay. Gamitin yung paa, ha? Okay, let's go, let's go. Ladies. Trabaho. Enjoy. Okay, PLDT.
Together!
Coach George Pasqua giving instructions, trying to protect this 4-point advantage. Erica Santos making her presence felt immediately as she went in along with Semana just a few plays ago. Samoilenko. Good coverage down the line by Savijevic, but the pass wasn't good enough. So that 3-point run is done for the crossovers.
PLDT already with 4 service aces in this set. And that point coming off from this down the line hit by Samoilenko as she's off to serve here.
Bicar sets it up. Shaya. Good dig by Samoilenko. Prado. Going to be an easy over for the high-speed hitters. Bicar. Maylin Paat. One blocker. Semana, the pass. De Leon from the middle. Off the block of Carandang. Ball is still alive. Bicar. Chance ball here for the high-speed hitters. De Leon with a tip. Carandang with the up. Shaya. Another long rally here. Combination play. Santos. Durendes with a dig. Dump attempt is rejected. Battle at the net. Bicar. Out to Shaya. Shaya is blocked. Coverage by Durendes.
Longest rally of the game, and it's a chance ball for PLDT.
Samoilenko back row. Through the block of Carandang. She puts it up. De Leon. Savijevic. Shaya. Block. Oh, what a play. What a rally. And what a point for the high-speed hitters.
Substitutions of Coach George Pasco paying off in that sequence as we take a look at Erica Santos and Jessie De Leon combined for that emphatic block and finishing that long rally. Look at everyone, talagang mga nakatukod na sa haba ng rally na yon. Quality minutes played by substitutions by the second unit of Coach George Pasqua. As we see Prado, Erica Santos, and Jessie De Leon in the front line and really doing great jobs here today.
Samoilenko with a dig. 6-point lead here for the high-speed hitters. Prado makes it a 7-point advantage now.
Again, the quality minutes that the players on the floor, talking about Prado, De Leon, and Erica Santos, have been giving and contributing for PLDT. Now making this 2-point ball game till they get the second set.
Durendes will set it for Paat. Off the block. Chance for a play here. Santos. Bicar sends it to Carandang. That's outside for Zach Carandang. And it is going to be 7. Make that 8 set points for the high-speed hitters.
It's a bit too low for Karandang and too much juice as well. Hindi nagawa ng paraan yung mababang set na yon, and it's now a set point for PLDT.
Bicar to Karandang, babawi.
And this is what we like about Karandang, no? Talagang the never give up attitude. And makikita mo how much he wanted that attack. The great angle avoiding the block of Jesse De Leon.
One set point saved. That's outside for Santos, her first attack error.
Combination play, but again, an attack error from Erica Santos. Ang ganda ng pakaganto ni Wendy Sabana. Sumaba yung blocker kay Jessie De Leon, but lack of prestation there from Erica Santos.
Two set points saved, but one thrown away. Mylene Pad gives the easy point for the win to the high-speed hitters. And we are one set apiece in our first game of this Thursday doubleheader. Crossovers winning the first set, and the high-speed hitters taking the second set, 25-18.
Ready Makulangan, setter of PLDT high-speed hitters. Opening ata ito nung AFP PNP Olympics. Ewan ko, saya ko lang. First SEA Games namin to ni Nang tsaka ni Mike. Memorable to kasi parang at last, parang natuloy kami na makapaglaro for the national team. Parang kakaiba talaga pag nakapag-SEA Games ka. Wait lang. Siguro, isa to sa mga pinaka-memorable na sa akin, experience ng volleyball. Nalagpasan namin lahat, tapos nag-champion pa kami. Umiyak ako nitong time na to kasi kahit anong paggawa ng coaches mo, gagawin mo, kahit anong ma-feel mo na pagod, parang babangon ka pa rin, para magte-training ka pa rin, para sa team, para sa teammates mo. Ngayon, mas ina-embrace ko yung pagiging team captain. Kasi before, sobrang takot ako sa responsibility kasi mahihain ako. Ngayon na nandito ako, parang unexpected talaga kasi yun nga, hindi ako tao, hindi ako vocal. Nakakatuwa lang na ito na pala yung nararating ko. Hi Rhea, sobrang thankful ako na narating natin to. Ayun, kahit na pinapagalitan ka na ng mga coaches, huwag ka simangot, huwag ka magpapadala sa galit mo. Thank you sa tiyaga. And huwag ka mag-give up kahit anong mangyari.
You're still watching the PVL 2022 Reinforced Conference, the match between the CHERY TIGGO crossovers and the PLDT high-speed hitters. First set going to CHERY TIGGO, but the second set going to PLDT high-speed hitters. And obviously, they've made up for their lapses in attacks in the first set, and now getting ahead here in the second set. 13 attacks for PLDT compared to 11 of CHERY TIGGO, and not much blocks, but they've gotten a lot of block checks against the spikers of CHERY TIGGO. But look at the aces, 4 compared to 1, and they were able to minimize their errors to just 5. And again, those errors are the ones becoming a problem for the CHERY TIGGO crossovers. And it's a different story compared to the first set. They've had the lead in majority of the second set, talking about PLDT. So now it's an equal matchup here as we go to the third set.
Samoilenko. What an angle. And that's not coming back.
Siviovic was stopped by the barriers. Hindi niya na mapuntahan. Pero ang taas sana nun. Saveable kung walang harap. But the first point going to the PLDT. And Mika Reyes very instrumental in that set 2 win. the 4 aces of CHERY TIGGO, of PLDT rather. 3 of that came from her, but now this is her 4th service ace. Definitely a loaded serving game here for Mika Reyes.
EJ Laura is back in the starting lineup for the crossovers. She was not able to receive that Reyes serve. Off to a good start here. The high-speed hitters 2-0. Set number 3. Nabor to Paat. Oh, what a rejection there, but good coverage by the crossovers. Paat again. Oh, this time gets it through.
The spike, actually, the ball rather, going in between the hands of Jessie De Leon. And the first attempt, talagang sarado yung double block. But this time around, Mylene Paat really finding a way to score off the blocker. She's completely struggled today. And it's really the system of blocking of the PLDT high-speed hitters that have been giving struggles to not just Pat, but to all the spikers of CHERY TIGGO.
PLDT is Chin Basas serving. This is her 4th pro commercial team for Chin Basas. Combination play. Mylene Paat is blocked, but it goes outside, and a point for the crossovers.
Alam mo, si Mylene Paat, at this point, talagang she's being smart with her attacks to. Kasi she's very well aware na talagang markado na siya ng mga blockers ng PLDT. So, kung makita mo yung mga attacks niya, we haven't seen clean hits from her. It's really from off the block and through the block points.
Samoylenko, yes.
Baliton caught standing in defense. But Samoylenko has been targeting that zone 6 and down the line and the in-betweens. Dahil po nagko-cross-court siya, napakaganda ng angat ni Buding Doremdes. So again, it's a battle of court sense also between CHERY TIGGO and PLDT. But when it comes to court sense, look at Zakaranda just really knowing where to place the ball. That was such a powerful hit as well. Great connection with Alina Bicar earlier, and now connecting again with Jasmine Abor.
Crossovers within 1. Prado is blocked. It falls on the line. So the game is tied at 4.
Catarado sinundan yung bola, kaya lang she let that ball go as well.
Oh, clearly in. Wasn't even on the line.
Tama nga talaga yung sinasabi ng coaches. It happened. The same thing happened to Nabor and now to Carado. So pag unsure, kunin na lang ang bola. Jasmine Nabor also with her own version of a spike there.
Durendes will set it. Here comes Carandang. Arado with a great save. Here comes Prado. Sevievich with a dig. Laura is blocked by De Leon. Carandang rejected by the net. And the high-speed hitters back up on top by 1 as we check in with Rain Tixon.
When things get tense, the PLDT high-speed hitters chant one thing. 1, 2, 3, relax. The high-speed hitters started this mantra last game to remind themselves to maintain composure in high-pressure situations. But right now, fans won't hear this as much after PLDT took a huge win against CHERY TIGGO to even out the match. Coach George Pascua reminded the team to focus on their defense and work hard during rallies. Sabi pa nga ni Coach George, tuloy-tuloy lang yung init as they want to carry their second set momentum here in the third. Can they do just that? Stay tuned here in set number 3.
Well, they can't if they can actually if the crossovers continue with these errors. Another attack error there for Zakarandang.
2 errors already on the side of CHERY TIGGO.
None yet for the high-speed hitters. Laure with a tip. Saved by Pasas. De Leon will play setter. Here comes Prado. Block coverage by De Leon. Mika Reyes. That's an overpass. Pasas with a great save. Prado again with a tip. Laure with a save. Paat from the back row. Now, poor dig by Samoilenko. Samoilenko will pass it. Nabor. To Laure. Laure, yes!
That's the kind of confidence boost she needs. Getting through the blockers. Got EJ Laure approaching that short set. Kind of play that she likes. And the sigh of relief after.
Back to a 1-point game. 5 serving 6. The 9th best server. Ooh. Laure with the error.
You know, this kind of situation a bit going on for CHERY TIGGO since the first set, though. Gagawa sila ng puntos and it would always, like the momentum would always end with those service errors.
3rd error for the crossovers. None yet again for the high-speed hitters. Oh, great serve. Sivijevic. That's not going to come back. Flew right over the head of the 6'5" Samoilenko, and if she can't get it, nobody can.
I was gonna say, if there's anyone who could get to that ball, it would have been Samoilenko. But again, that point is gonna go to CHERY TIGGO and Sivijevic. Like I kept mentioning, being smart with their attacks and using the hands of the blockers to get that point.
Oh, Mika Reyes. What a delivery as well from Rhea Di Maculangan.
That's right. And you know, they've built that connection through the years, talking about Rhea Di Maculangan and Mika Reyes. As they go to the first technical timeout, they're ahead 2 here, 8-6.
The biggest basketball event in 2023 is coming to the Philippines. Purchase your FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 Ultimate Finals Fan Pass and get access to the much-anticipated FIBA World Cup 2023 Championship game, along with a battle for 3rd place, semifinals, and quarterfinals games. Visit register.worldcup.basketball for more details. Hashtag #WinForAll. And right now, these high-speed hitters are winning in just about every aspect of the match. They are much careful with the ball, and they're attacking better, they're blocking better, their coverage is good as well, which has allowed them to win the 2nd set and pick up a 2-point lead here early in set number 3. They're up by 2. Sivijevic, coverage by Samoilenko. Nieza Viray with the up. Prado from the back row. Maylene Baat. Oh, coverage again by Nieza Viray. Viray will spike it. Sivijevic picks it up. Sivijevic again attacks. This time around, the down the line works against Jovi Prado.
He's been getting a lot of points in that down the line area. So if it's the zone 6 for CHERY TIGGO, it's zone 1 for the PLDT high-speed hitters. Talk about Viray and her ball control. Of course, one of the top NCAA beach volleyball players also.
Samoilenko. Nabor picks it up. Duremdes will set it back to Sivijevic. Arado. Samoilenko. There's a dump attempt. Ball is still good. Mika Reyes dug up by Laure. Here's the pass. Baat rejected and nowhere to go and no coverage as well.
Great link between the blockers, Samoilenko and Mika Reyes, really closing that cross-court angle for Maylene Baat, and you see yung talagang direction ng kanilang block is penetrated on the net. Really playing to their strengths, like we kept mentioning, using blockings and even services as an advantage over CHERY TIGGO.
9 serving 7. Excellent serve by Reyes. Chance ball for the high-speed hitters. Down to the middle. What a dig there by Laure. Sivijevic. Di Maculangan picking it up. Basas with a push. That's short.
And again, no, may yung sinasabi kong approach ni Chinchin Basas, kasi parang two steps lang yung kanyang approach eh. And she's very used to that, especially during her FEU days pa. So she has that connection with Rhea de Maculangan as well with her plays. But when it's an off-system play, you can see Chinchin Basas really struggling with the sets.
Basas. Much better set.
Yan yung
Better
sinasabi
approach.
natin, no? Yung two-step approach ni Chinchin Basas, and great for Rhea de Maculangan to also let her make up for her error. Single block coverage against Chinchin Basas. She's gonna get that point off in cross-court hit.
Still a 2-point advantage for the high-speed hitters. 10 serving 8, third set. Ooh!
One-point ball game. The lead is still with PLDT. And just like that, they are also at par in terms of errors. Kanina nung 7-8 pa lang ang point nitong PLDT, wala pa silang error na nakocommit eh.
Samoilenko. Yes!
Great hit there by Samoilenko. Really towering above the blockers. Alam mo yung palo nito ni Samoilenko, seems like mahirap talaga depensahan kasi there's only little spin of the ball, no? So, mahirap din kontrolin, maiangat.
Mylene Paat puts all of her frustration on that attack.
This time, Mylene Paat talagang babawi dahil kanina pa siya na-check ng blockers nitong PLDT, but you know, just having one blocker against CHERY, against Mylene Paat, it's gonna be a lot of problem for PLDT.
Service out. That's been the problem since set number 1 for the crossovers. So many service errors.
That's right. And even for Mylene Paat alone, that has happened a lot of times already. Punto siya, pag-ikot niya, error.
But still, high-speed hitters unable to take advantage. Only a 2-point advantage, 2-point lead here in the third set. Prado with the dig. Back row, Samoilenko. That's dug up by Paat. Here comes Karandang. Yes!
Karandang connecting well with Labor. Seemed like a low set for her, but she's gonna make do of that set. The Kakabigan and Chinchin Basas was just out of position to defend that ball well.
Much better serve for Laure. Underhand pass there for Di Maculangan. Samoilenko, back row, yes!
Buting the Remdes. Trying to avoid the ball kasi sabi ko nga, mahirap depensahan tong bola ni Samoilenko kasi halos konti lang yung spin eh. So, may pagka-floater yung kanyang mga palo. So, yung bigat nandun talaga. And the ball just dropped right on the line as Buding Durem just tried to avoid that pipe attack.
Erica Santos is back in the game for the high-speed hitters. Another good serve from Di Maculangan. Prado. Oh, wow!
Great set there by Rhea Di Maculangan. The luxury of having this legendary center on your lineup. Look at the delay in the block of CHERY TIGGO. Itong block ni Karandang nandun na sa likod ni Nabor eh. So there's really a big opening there left for Prado.
Lead is 3 for PLDT. Nabor to Sivijevic, who has been rendered somewhat inactive here. She is unable to be as productive as she was in the first set. Santos with the point.
The attack efficiency of Erica Santos has been really high the moment she joined the PLDT. She's also played that way in the Invitational Conference. But we are gonna go to a timeout here from CHERY TIGGO. Let's listen in.
Nagkamali tayo, stop tayo. Pag nagkamali tayo, okay lang, recover lang ulit tayo. Huwag kayong mag-stop doon na nagkamali kayo, stop na kayo doon na aaminin nyo lang. Bumalik lang ulit kayo, mag-recover lang ulit. Andiyan naman para bumawi kayo, para ma-regain nyo ulit yung ano nyo, yung kumpiyansa nyo. Okay? Pag nagkamali, okay lang yun, walang problema. Pero ituloy nyo, sa susunod na gagawin nyo, dapat makabawi naman tayo. Wala na,
Salita, guys! Smile!
That's the first timeout for Coach Clarence Esteban. He didn't even wait for the technical timeout, which is just a point away. Again, focusing on the errors. Pag nagkamali kayo, tuloy lang, just play the right way. 4 unforced errors for the crossovers, only 2 for the high-speed hitters. Di Makulangan has been serving so well today. Karandam over the block, yes!
The CHERY TIGGO needs more of this kind of performance from Karandang. She scored off a spike and now she scored off a drop shot, a well-placed one.
Reyes, yes!
No, ang sarap lang talagang panoorin nung Di Makulangan and Reyes connection. Dahil alam ni Rhea kung kailan itataas yung set para makaibabaw si Mika at kailan din ibibilis para maunahan niya yung block. As we go to the second technical timeout, PLDT still on the lead, 16-12.
Got 300 pesos? Enjoy NBA TV Philippines now. More affordable at Signal Postpaid Plan 290 or Prepaid Load 300. Watch all the action extended until December 31, 2022. The Mall of Asia Arena, Pasay City, is slowly starting to fill up in anticipation of our main event today. Flying Titans, Cool Smashers. A very important game for Choco Mucho as Sivijevic attacks and scores. Crossovers been trying to break that 4-point deficit. They've been unable to do so far with so many errors committed in the third set. Di Makulangan to Reyes. Oh, Reyes has been playing so well here in the third set.
She really embraced that role, that leadership role as well for PLDT. And the great numbers from Mika Reyes from their previous wins, and again right now has been performing well against CHERY TIGGO. Later on we'll get her amount of points generated, but she's definitely gonna beyond double digits in this game. Aces niya alone, 4 or 5 na yata. So
meantime, Mylene Pat off 3 blockers. Take a look here.
Talagang tinarget ni Mylene Paat yung blocker na mababa na yung reach ng kamay sa sa block.
Samoilenko blocked by Paat. De Leon unable to get it across the net.
Great intention from Jessie De Leon, pero yung taas ng balik ng bola a bit mistimed by her. Pababa na siya nung in-over niya yung bola.
2-point game. One-handed set. Jessie De Leon. Is there a check ball? No block touch, says first referee Lumer Pajarillo, and there is a challenge here by the coaching staff with the high-speed hitters. A block touch.
Rhea Di Makulangan signaling a block touch to Coach George Pascua. Looking at Jessie, she seemed unsure, but they're gonna try their luck here.
Why not?
Minsan nga hindi nila alam diba? Kasi minsan adrenaline yan, you don't really feel it physically. But in the challenge, you would see na kahit yung konting movement lang would really count.
This is the first challenge by PLDT in the match so far. Yeah.
Oh.
Successful challenge. Clearly a block touch there.
And there's no harm in trying, especially you can carry over these amount of challenges to the next set anyway, so you have to use it. And right now, PLDT maintaining their momentum after that successful challenge. They still have a 3-point lead here. Erica Santos serves for the PLDT high-speed hitters.
Santos skipped the last 3 years of eligibility with LaSalle just to turn pro. Laure, Santos picking it up. Samoilenko through the block, Buding Durendes with a dig. Here comes Laure again. Dug up by Nieza Viray. Back row from Prado with a push. Buding Durendes sends it to Paat against 2 blockers. Yes!
No, that cross-court angle for Mylene Paat has been really effective for her. And a great setup jump also by Buding Durendes. Rhea de Macolang not able to save that as Roldan fielded in the game to serve for CHERY TIGGO.
Roldan, first time in the match, she gets the dig. Roldan didn't score in the loss versus Petrogas. Oh! Laura let it go for Rachel Roldan, who wasn't ready.
That those little miscommunication is gonna have a big impact as well dahil this is the point of the game where you would want to stay close. Dahil pag dumating na yan sa 20, napaka-crucial na ng bawat tawag. So it's very important to stay close at this point of the game, but that's a very costly error between Roldan and EJ Laure.
Mylene Paat drills that one in, make it a 2-point game.
Yan naman ang importante, di ba? Sabi nga ni Coach Clarence kanina, okay lang magkamali, basta babawi, stay in the game. And right now, you're gonna see a double substitution. Great call also from Coach Clarence. Kasi usually, Eric, nakikita natin, kung nakascore si Mylene, pag-ikot niya, may service error, di ba? So, Coach Clarence is gonna try to prevent that by fielding in this double sub in Bicar and Shaya Adorador.
Good pass there by Kat Arado. Bicar sends it to Laure. Dug up by Samoilenko. Prado. Blocked by Adorador. Dug up by Samoilenko. Prado again. This time gets it through the double block.
That pattern of block from Karandang and the other blockers, medyo sinusundan niya kasi si Jessie De Leon when in fact it should be EJ Laure manning Jessie De Leon kasi dalawa lang ang spikers ng PLDT and there should always be a double block against the wing spiker, talking about Prado. But from that last sequence, kung si Prado left with only 1 blocker, getting their 20th point.
Shaya Adorador.
Really quality minutes from Adorador here today. Whether she's asked to start or manggaling sa double sub, she would make sure to deliver something for CHERY TIGGO as Chinchin Basas checks back in the game.
Two-point advantage for the high-speed hitters. That service way outside.
Not the best day for EJ Laure as we saw 2 points already, but if you count her errors, medyo hindi balanced with her point production today. But I think yung tiwala ni Coach Clarence sa kanya nandun din, especially as an all-around player. She makes up for it in defense as well.
5 unforced errors now for the crossovers. Bicar, that's a dump by Prado. Lead is back up to 4 for the high-speed hitters. Gonna be the last time out for Coach Clarence Esteban. We'll listen in.
Kumukuha sila sa atin, hindi tayo nagbibigay eh. Doon tayo nasisira eh. Okay? Kung malakas yung service, huwag natin pilitin doon sa dito lang sa gitna, tapos dumiskart na lang tayo kung ano dapat gawin. Spiker, ready lang lagi, humingi na humingi. Okay? Kung malakas yung service, doon muna sa gitna. Okay, malakas talaga, kumakarga. Pag hindi kaya, di sige lang, gawa lang ng paraan. Alina, ikaw nang bala dumiskart, ikaw naman. Kung gano'n lang gagawin sa gitna, ready lang sa open, atakin na atakin. Kailangan tayo dumikit lang.
Let's go! Steady!
High-speed hitters in control of set number 3, leading by 4 late. And they're coming off a second set win, so they're poised to go up 2-1 against second place team in the conference in the CHERY TIGGO crossovers. Hindi makulangan. She's been serving so well. Prado. Well dug by Laure. Laure digs again. There's an overreach. Going to be on Alina Bicar. She's a back row player. So
Legal attack called on Bicar dahil yung depensa na yun ni EJ Laure, as much as ang ganda nung nadepensahan niya from that very strong hit from Prado. Medyo pa sobra eh, and mahirap yan pag-backline setter yung pag-backline yung setter mo.
So lead is 5 for the high-speed hitters. Nabor is back in the game along with Pat. Ooh. I didn't want to say it. I was gonna go the only way crossovers are gonna get a point here if is Di Maculangan commits a service error because she's been serving so well, and she did so.
Commentator's curse.
I didn't even say it. I was just thinking it. Karandang with a serve. It's a 4-point game. Samoilenko. Another dig by Laure. And there's Sivijevic with a point.
Great swing there from Sivijevic, and it's gonna cause sense of urgency right away from PLDT. They want to protect the lead, and they call a timeout here, 23-20.
Ready tayo sa attack. Ngayon, huwag niyong habulin dito sa down the line. Huwag niyong habulin. Pabayaan dumipensa si setter dito kasi tumatama na palayo. And then yung gap, libero, kunin niyo yung gap. Pagka may gap doon sa block, mag-forward na kayo, ha? And then Lena, secure the back row, ha? Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go!
Okay, ready?
Di Maculangan and the high-speed hitters protecting a 3-point advantage late here in set number 3. Zakarandang with a service ace. Just what the doctor ordered for the crossovers. 8th best server is Zakarandang. So it's no wonder why. There's an over-receive by Prado. Here comes Sivijevic. Good coverage by Samoilenko. Basas! Dug up by Laure, but not good enough. And the high-speed hitters with 3 set points.
EJ Laure successful in covering the gap between the blockers, no, na napwestuhan niya yan on the floor, but the control and Mylene Paat unable to get to the second touch. It's gonna give PLDT their set point.
Jasmine Nabor sets it to Sivijevic. Off the block, yes. 1 set point save, 2 more to go for the crossovers. And Coach Pascua will burn his final timeout here. We'll listen in.
Distansya ka lang sa dita. Ngayon, pagka wala, Lena. Ngayon, pag nandito, dalawa, coaching. Okay, paluin mo. Pag mo itadrop, paluin mo. And then, target ka ng cross, ibigay mo sa setter ng kabila. Okay, 1 good pass, 1 good attack tayo, ha? Okay, let's go. Okay, PLDT!
All right. First option is Samoilenko, and then if not, they go to Chinbasas.
So they just need 1 point to seal this 3rd set.
No more timeouts for both teams, and you heard Coach Pascua, paluin mo, walang drop dito. they don't even have to mount an attack, as these service errors have totally killed the chances of the crossovers in set number 3. A smile on the face, a little grin on the face of Coach Pascua as they win set number 3 and they go up 2-1 against the crossovers. A tight third set, but the high-speed hitters pull off a 3-point win, 25-22, and they go up 2-1 after winning the last 2 sets against the crossovers. We'll take a look at highlights of the third set.
Eric, the story of this game, kung sino yung nakakaabante. The early parts of the set, sila talaga yung nag-uuwi. No? I don't think meron tayong come from behind win in the sets that have happened. But for PLDT, it was a complete team effort, no, by the players. Were fielded in by ito si Coach George Pascua. And we see a lot of second stringers on the floor, talking about Jesse De Leon, itong si Jovi Prado. Earlier, andyan din si Erica Santos. But even Viray as a libero has been getting a lot of touches, a lot of saves. So everyone from the side of PLDT have just really been playing well today. On the other side naman si CHERY TIGGO, we see EJ Laure obviously struggling, and as much as Zach Arandang has been producing more compared to the first set, medyo not the usual that we see from them pa rin. But in terms of attacks, naka-equalize dyan ang CHERY TIGGO, 16-16, and so far it's the errors that the CHERY TIGGO crossovers committed towards the latter part of the set. Yan ang hindi nila nasolusyonan to get ahead of PLDT high-speed hitters.
And these errors of the crossovers, really a major problem and something they should try and reduce in set number 4 in order to have a shot at sending this into a 5th setter.
Kasi everything is equal. As we take a look at the attacks, blocks, and aces, as much as si CHERY TIGGO nakakadikit sa PLDT and those aspects, it's more of the momentum din, the morale of the players. You don't see them really celebrating as they should, those points that they create. So in terms of body language also, it's a bit down looking at CHERY TIGGO, comparing it to the body language as well of PLDT.
Mylene Paat, Laure, Sevijovic, Bicar, Baliton, and Duremdes, they are the 6 on the floor for your crossovers. Meantime, Basas, Reyes, Samoilenko, Dimakulangan, Viray, and Prado serving are your 6 for the high-speed hitters. Their chance to close it out here in set number 4 and finish the preliminary round at 4-4 in the standings. What a good start. Prado with a service ace.
Well, Prado has been very instrumental in those 2-set wins. Her attacks, her defense as well. Of course, a former NCAA MVP. We know the kind of all-around player that she is. And now even scoring off the first point via service ace. She's gonna throw the second one away.
Former Lady Chief from Arellano, Jovi Prado. Inadvertent buzzer by the technical committee. The coaching staff of both teams got a little worried for a second there. There's a service ace from Marina Bicar.
Both teams starting off with service aces. And minsan kasi we saw how equal they are in terms of attacking.
Yeah.
You know, in the first sets talagang dikitan lang sila dyan, except for the first set where CHERY TIGGO managed to score 5 points ahead in that department. Pero sa iba kasi kailangan mo ng next big factor para maging game changer sa iyong team. And for PLDT, it was their services in the second set. And in the third set naman, everything was equal, but the errors of CHERY TIGGO killed it for them as Mika Reyes scored off her 13th point. That was her 8th attack. She also has 1 block point and 4 service aces.
Oh, what a game for Mika Reyes, coming off an 11-point, 3-block, 1-ace performance against Signal. Paat is blocked. They go to Baliton. That's dug up by Dimaculangan. De Leon plays setter. Basas with a push, but she lands face into the net. Let's check in with Rain Dixon.
This game may not have any bearing in CHERY TIGGO's chances in the semifinals, but the crossovers refuse to back down. Head coach Clarence Esteban gave his squad specific reminders like getting their spikers moving in the transition. Coach also addressed the team's errors, saying don't just accept their mistakes, siguraduhin yung bumawi. He urges his squad to quickly move on so they don't lose confidence, maintain the same intensity, and move forward. That's all for now. Back to the panel.
All right, thank you, Rain. They're probably somewhere around the 20 error mark already, Coach Esteban, and the crossovers. They're coming off, like what Mela was saying earlier, 30 error match. That was a 5-set loss against Petrogas, so they're one of the more error-prone teams in the Reinforced Conference. Yet they're already in the semifinals as per Rain. And this is, again, win or lose, doesn't matter to them, doesn't affect their position. It's more important for the high-speed hitters here today, as EJ Laure, you see the point she makes here. But a win here today for the high-speed hitters, we talked about this in the Open, Mela, does not guarantee them a
no
shot.
guarantee.
Even a shot, not even a slot, just a shot at the semifinals.
And they would want to take that, you know, slim chance of opportunity, diba? Of course, every win counts for all the teams, and it's very evident with the other teams as well, like Akari, diba? Talagang they wanted to finish their conference on a high note as you take a look at Jessie De Leon having this cross-court runner, and 2 players trying to save that ball, but none of them deciding to take the ball.
Mylene Paat, though, will get one via an attack.
Paat really trying to rally her team. They need this win as well to boost their morale entering the semifinals. And you know, kasi it's always been like that na going up against a much lower seeded team, the pressure would always be on the higher team, but not to lose. And the other side naman, they just want to win.
That's right.
So in terms of pressure also, that affects the players.
Jovi Prado with a kill here off the chest of Yelena Sivijevic. 5-all, 4th set. Jessie De Leon, a practicing architect. Her dad's an engineer. And yet, we find her here pouring her heart out for the fans. Good save. Chance ball for the crossovers. Bicar goes to Laure. Laure cross court. That save is not good enough for De Leon.
But you see the effort, even going beyond the bleachers and even hitting the post earlier. So in terms of, you know, yung mental side of it, it feels like PLDT players are more into the game kasi even the micro movements, they really put extra effort to it.
Good block there by Sivijevic on Dimaculangan, and there's going to be a violation, double contact against Kat Arado.
CHERY TIGGO now with a 2-point lead. And like you mentioned earlier, kung sino yung nakakalamang sa unahan, so far sila yung nakakakuha ng set. So let's see if this is a replay of the first set as Jovi Prado puts a stop to that run from CHERY TIGGO. They are now down by 1 point here.
Back-to-back points for Jovi Prado.
She really has hot hands here today for PLDT. A lot of them really. Talking about Mika Reyes and Jovi Prado. We haven't seen Del Palomata back in the court, but only for the sole reason that Jessie De Leon has really been playing well.
This is going to be 4 touches against the high-speed hitters. Crossovers up by 2, 8-6 over the high-speed hitters, set number 4.
Hi! Ang question ko is, sino kaya ang next may stare down ni Maylene Paad against PLDT? Tweet na!
All right, we go to the answers on Twitterverse. Sino ang next na isi-stare down ni Maylene Paad? Sabi ni Derek J, I guess it's Samoilenko. Maylene plays opposite and open naman si Elena. So malaki ang chance na magtatapat sila sa harap. So excited for this game.
Usually mga imports din yung kanyang na bibigyan. But let's listen from Raven Zervele with CHERY TIGGO's game with the Karincha Kumucho. I think it will be Elena Samoilenko should prepare for Mama Peace swag. I think even Manita at Charaporn swag to the imports of PVL in first conference. Ha ha ha, go CHERY. And kasi as we know, stats-based, she even plays like a reinforcement talking about Maylene Paad. But you know, it's not really, like looking at the videos, it's not really swag. It's more of like swag with a twist, swag with a smile, ganyan. And you see the imports even sharing so much appreciation also to Maylene Paad.
There's one player she won't stare down. So remember, Priscilla Rivera, she avoided staring down because after she got a point off the block against Rivera, she decided not to.
And did the peace sign.
Yeah, exactly.
To secure peace between the parties. And I guess if it's Samoilenko, it's not really staring down, more like staring up.
There's a huge height disparity. There's a point again for the crossovers. It's still a 3-point advantage though.
Right now, the errors of PLDT, 4 compared to none of CHERY TIGGO.
And we mentioned that's going to be a crucial factor entering set number 4. If the crossovers can keep that number down, the errors, they have a shot here. But as we say that, there's an attack error by Baliton.
And Eric, following the pattern also, we mentioned about whoever gets the lead gets to, so far, no, basing it on the previous sets, gets to win that set. But at the same time, kung sino rin yung nag-commit ng more errors, get to lose the set. So there are those 2 consistent patterns so far here in this game.
It's just a 2-point game. Reyes, she's been serving so well. Vicar sends it to Paat with the tip. Saved by De Leon. Chance ball here for the crossovers. Paat again. Off the block. Di makulangan. Who does she go to? Samoilenko. Cross court. Urendas picking it up. Chance ball here for the high-speed hitters. They go back to Samoilenko with a dump. Laure with a dig. Paat again. Push. Yes!
Maylene Paad really studying the defense pattern of PLDT as well. She's been marked with their blocks. Nadidepensahan din yung mga iba niyang itinatawid sa kabila. But this time around, adjusting with that tip. Kanina yung medyo sa harap nakuha eh. But this time around, getting that point of the long power tip.
De Leon with the attack. Vicar, back set. Maylene Paat rejected by Elena Samoilenko.
That was a tough play to execute. Dahil, you know, the quick sets, they are the much easier ones to block, especially kapag ka nakatao na yung blocker mo. And having Paat do a back quick in front of Samoilenko, mauunahan siya eh, kunin yung bola.
Great pass by Sivirovic. Combination play. Paat. That's picked up by Basas. Samoilenko with the dump. Diray to Prado. Back row. Laure. Dug up by Viray. Here comes Di Makulangan. Underhand set. Samoilenko. Cross court. Yes!
Go block blocker there. And ayun nga yung mahirap na sa akin para kay Buting Doremdes, no? Pag walang masyadong spin yung bola, feeling niya magsisail out na. And with the kind of attacks that Samoilenko has been giving out here today, ang daming ganon na pinapakawalan nito ni Doremdes. But on the other side, ito namang si Viray, ang dami nang nadepensahan. And evolving as an unsung hero here for PLDT. But EJ Lowry has other plans, scoring off an off-the-block hit. You'd want to see a more confident EJ Lowry, diba? Kasi sabi nga natin, for the longest time she's been playing with CHERY TIGGO. It's only this conference that she's returned to her, you know, confident self. So you'd want to see her back to that form. Samoilenko had great intentions there, going for the deep cross, but it sailed out.
Double lady substitution here for the high-speed hitters. Sebana Santos check in for Basas and Dimaculangan. Lead is back to 3 for the crossovers. It was down to 1 earlier. And a little 2-point run here for Baliton and company. Gives them a little bit of a cushion in the middle of set number 4. Santos.
Look at Arado with that coverage.
Pushed by Samoilenko. Bikar. And Carandang will score.
So far, the points of CHERY TIGGO, marami nakukuha dyan sa mga off-the-block, no? Kasi yung defense ng PLDT very established on the floor as well, both at the net and on the floor. So kapag tumalsik yung bola, yan yung mga puntos na nakukuha nitong CHERY TIGGO. As we see Del Palomata back on the floor for PLDT. Kailangan nila ng matindi-tinding blockings dito dahil nag-iinit na itong si Zach Randang.
We haven't seen Palomata since the 2nd and 3rd set. Palomata with a push blocked by Carandang. Samoilenko. There's a gap between the blockers. Chance ball for the high-speed hitters. Arado with an overpass. Oh, this goes wide. And Coach Pascua is staring down Kat Arado. Or poor decision.
Kat Arado, I guess familiarity plays because she's been UE teammates with Baliton. And ayan nga, mapupunta sa labas yung attempt na yun ni Kat Arado. But let's see how they bounce back from that error.
That's how. Erika Santos with a kill.
Erika Santos, instant offense. And ang ganda rin ng strategy dito ni Coach George. It seems like he knows his players very well. Dahil alam niya kung kailan ibabalik si Chinchin Basas. And you know, lahat naman ng players may ganyan eh. Merong advantage over the other. So right now it seems like Coach George acknowledging Erika Santos having a higher efficiency in terms of attacks. And defense naman, mas advantage si Chin. So she puts her back in for that.
Maylin Paat over the block. Excellent decision to tip it. Seeing Palomata is right there. The lead is back up to 5 for the crossovers as we get to our second technical timeout. Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena, Pasay City. Tail end of set number 4 of our first game here. Take a look at the Flying Titans fans inside the venue. Already prepping for the big game later as they try to stay alive and in the hunt for a semi-final slot. Taking on the #1 team in the conference in the Pool Smashers.
Nepomuceno Balwalwa and Michelle Morente gearing up to watch the exciting games today.
Palomata. Nabor goes to Laure. Off the block and in.
Great sending job there from Jasmine Nabor. Si Del Palomata attacked from the left side and she struggled to keep up in blocking EJ Laure on the other side. Slowly the points are starting to develop from EJ Laure's output today.
Back to a 6-point advantage. This is the biggest lead now. Make that a 7-point lead.
Jasmine Nabor and her 4th point of the game, courtesy of that service ace as Coach George Pasua calls for another timeout. Let's listen in.
Mag-running, then open, tapos pipe yung gitna, yung import.
Yun lang yun. So don't stop, ladies. Only 18 points. Hindi natatapos yan. Pero as long as yung nandun yung effort natin, then nakafocus tayo, enjoy, makukuha natin yan. Don't stop. Hindi mo naman tapos. Go. Identity.
Together!
And keep your focus. Don't stop. There's still a long way to go before the end of this set. Samoilenko and the rest of the high-speed hitters down by 7. This is the biggest deficit against them in set number 4.
So safe to say, parang a reminder of how the pacing was in the first set. Dahil ganito rin yung laki ng lamang in the first set. And the lead was with CHERY TIGGO.
And now the lead is up to 8 with Palomata getting blocked and it falls inside. Nothing going right for the high-speed hitters. They've only committed 1 error. That's how good their game has been here in set number 4. 6 errors on the other hand for the high-speed hitters. Adorador is blocked. No, actually, that's for double contact against Adorador.
So it's a setting violation called on Nabor. Point is gonna go to PLDT as Del Palomata serves. Almost an ace, but Sivijevic gets to that.
Chance ball here for the high-speed hitters. Back row, Samoilenko hits the net cord. It still goes through. Oh, nice save by Palomata and Prado. Here comes Laure. Di Makulangan goes to Prado with a tip. Saved by Laure. Adorador attacks. There's a net touch on Jovi Prado.
Great reflexes shown to us by the defenders of PLDT. But this time, there was lack of balance there. Jovi Prado hitting the tape of the net. And point is going to go to CHERY TIGGO as Samonte subs in for Jovi Prado.
So after starting, we have not seen Jules Samonte. She's back on the floor after not playing in the second and third sets. Let's see if she can make a difference here. They're down by 8. Oof. That's gonna boost the confidence here of the high-speed hitters. Just a little bit. Service error for Laure. Crossovers give up an easy point. But if you're PLDT, this is still a 7-point deficit. Sivijevic fires one in.
Unleashing that cannonball hit was Sivijevic. There's a lot of force also coming off from her swings. You take a look at that full swing there. And Samoilenko unable to handle the juice from that spike.
Samonte. Dug up by Karandang. Shaya, yes!
And as mentioned earlier, every time Shaya Dorador is fielded in, she makes use of the minutes of, the opportunity given to her really well. Scoring through the block as PLDT calls for a timeout, 22-13.
Malaw. So, nag-step na naman tayo. So, pagka ganon, yung chance na yon, i-grab na natin. So, try naman natin, subukan natin na humabol. Okay? Lagyan natin ng konting pressure sa kalaban. Huwag yung pakikita na stiff kayo or tight. Normal lang, enjoy lang. Para ma-minimize natin yung mga errors natin. Ang problema kasi natin, masyadong nag-tight ulit eh.
All right, that's the last timeout of the high-speed hitters. It's a 9-point deficit against them. Za Karandang with a serve here. Poor receive by Samoilenko. Broken play here for the high-speed hitters. Karandang with an over-receive. Mika Reyes gets it through.
Mika Reyes, I think that's her 14th or 15th point already. Medyo nanahimik siya dito sa fourth set, but this is the time for her to come alive and create that run for PLDT. But this lead has really ballooned and favor the side of CHERY TIGGO.
Seviovic, yes.
That familiar down the line hit that has been very effective for Seviovic.
Crossovers, 2 points away from the win here in set number 4 as Maylin Baat and Alina Bicar return to the game. 9-point lead is the biggest for the crossovers. Samoilenko, dug up by Durendes. Seviovic, blocked this time by Mika Reyes. But if you're the high-speed hitters, they can't afford to trade points here. They have to get a really lengthy stop.
You need to make streak of points. Dahil pagpalitan lugi sila, CHERY TIGGO only needs 2 points, but that was such an emphatic kill block by Mika Reyes. Masyadong mataas yung set and she was able to position herself well to block against Seviovic.
Good serve. Maylin Baat. Maylin will try again. Good save by Samonte. Samoilenko. Blocked easily by Seviovic. And this is 9 set points for the crossovers.
She got blocked earlier and this time around, she gives PLDT a dose of their own medicine. Great block there from Seviovic. They are now at set point, the verge of extending this game to a 5-setter.
Basas. Baliton. The height of Samoilenko. She didn't even have to jump for that push.
Look at the reaction of Buding Durendes. She didn't know na babalik agad yung bola na yun. The luxury of being 6'5".
1 set point saved. There are 8 more. Maylin Baat with a push. Biray. That's it. Crossovers win set number 4. And we're tied at 2 sets apiece. The fans are loving it, and why not? We've got more action here in the first match of today. Excellent decision, Maylin Baat, to push it. High-speed hitters out of position. And that point is gone. Set number 5 coming up between the high-speed hitters and the crossovers when we return. 2 sets apiece. The high-speed hitters winning sets 2 and 3, while the crossovers winning the first and the fourth set. So on to a 5th set we go between these two teams. Win or lose doesn't matter here for the crossovers. They're in the semifinals already. For PLDT, slim to none chance of making it with a win here today. Let's take a look at highlights of the 4th set.
So far, the pattern has been very consistent for both these teams. Kung sino yung nakakalamang, we mentioned it earlier, at kung sino naman yung maraming nakukommit na errors in that set, sila yung nag-end up na natatalo in that set. But so far, for CHERY TIGGO, they won that set fair and square. Talagang they played to their strengths, especially in attacks. And with EJ Lara on the floor, they were also able to get more touches on the floor and convert it to attacks. So it has become a much more exciting match. As you can see, 13 attacks compared to 10 of PLDT. And blocks equal lang, aces nakalamang ng konti itong CHERY TIGGO. But the errors of PLDT just too much for this whole set. Dahil ang laki din na naging lamang, 25-16 in that 4th set.
PLDT must turn around their game. 8 unforced errors, obviously something they could not overcome. And if they are to keep their chances alive of maybe a play for a Final Four or a semi-final slot, they've got to win this set. Maylene Paat and the rest, obviously, they want to stop their 2-game slide going into the semi-finals. Meanwhile, PLDT is coming off a 2-game winning streak, so they don't want to lose momentum today. It's Di Maculangan, Pasas, Reyes, Samoilenko, Prado, and Viray in the starting lineup. Meanwhile, Seviovic, Bariton, Bicar, Duremdes, Paat, and Laure in the starting lineup for the crossovers. Serve by Prado is into the net. Not the kind of start you want if you're PLDT coming off a defeat in set number 4. Di Maculangan to Reyes. Bicar with a dig. Underhand pass by Duremdes. And there's a block against Pat, but it goes outside, so...
Both Maylene and the lines judge agreed to that call. But Coach George Pasco is going to try his luck, and...
No, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to
they're
challenge.
not.
So a 2-0 start for the crossovers.
Kasi importante din yung mga challenge dito at mukhang maaga pa to call for a challenge. So they're gonna save it.
And I think Coach Esteban talking to Coach Pasco and say, out yata talaga. Samoilenko is blocked. Let's check in with Rain Dixon.
Just when they needed her the most, Zach Arandang delivered not only on points but also in encouragement. When I spoke to Zah, she said that her intensity is a natural reaction after performing well. Her spark often leads to a confidence boost for her squad, something they'll be needing here in the 5th set. That's all for now. Back to the panel.
Rain, she indeed was the spark for the crossovers in set number 4 as back-to-back errors here for the high-speed hitters. They're down by 4 early in the 5th set.
Tulungan natin, tulong tayo. Pagka may receive, connect mo ulit. Ganun ang game plan natin, connect mo ulit. Then, distansya ka lang sa loob. Sige, let's go. Go!
Hingi na bola pag may receive.
Coach Pasqua calling an early timeout here as team is down by 4. And they already have 2 unforced errors to start the 5th set.
To win a 5-set match, yung ganitong kalaking advantage, 4 points is masyado na malaki for the other team. So that's about time for Coach George Pasqua to call for that timeout. But going back to that rain report, no? Ito ngang si Zaka Randang. Yan din yung minention natin kanina, the intangibles that she brings into the table. And we talked about the body language of CHERY TIGGO pag nada-down sila, kahit na mataas yung production nila ng points, very different pa rin yung vibe sa loob. And usually when they're like that, they end up losing the set. So a very big contribution from Zaka Randang, but this time, if you look at the scoreboard, a lot of errors also from PLDT contribute to this 5-0 run of CHERY TIGGO, but Samoilenko puts stop on that streak.
Finally, an attack gone right for the high-speed hitters. There's Samoilenko with a push. She's been blocked several times here in the 5th set. First attack point for the high-speed hitters. Mika Reyes serving 1-5, 5th set. Easy dump for Samoilenko, over received by Durenda. So 2 straight points for the high-speed hitters.
Yung bola na yun, wala pa sa kamay ni Samoilenko, but when you're watching, you know that that point's gonna be hers. Siya lang yung makakaabot na pinakamataas dun sa bola na yun.
Much better receive for Durendes. Maylin Paat off the block.
Maylin Paat using the hands of the smaller blocker. Of course, Chinchin Basas compared to Del Palomata, you choose Chinchin. And she gets it off a successful off the block hit.
Arado will pass it. Samoilenko. Baliton with the tip. Palomata. Sivievich saving it. Easy over for Durendes. Basas through the double block. Yes!
Combination play there works for Chinchin Basas and Rhea de Maculangan. And right on cue, itong double sub ni Coach George ay papasok. Erika Santos and Wendy Semana. Nino Santos could do a lot of damage to the front line. So let's see if they get to catch up with a full front lineup for PLDT.
Bicar gives it to Laure. Viray was right there. What a save from Semana. Chance ball here for the crossovers. Maylin Paat rejected coverage by Durendes. Laure approaches, pushes. Viray back to Samoilenko. Blocked by Baliton.
It is definitely a block party here for CHERY TIGGO. And it's very ironic as we know itong PLDT ang number 2 in the team standings when it comes to that department. But CHERY TIGGO giving them a dose of their own medicine and using blocking to their advantage, especially here in the 5th set.
Rachel Roldan is back in the game. Palomata, yes!
Finally, Palomata making an impact here in the 5th set. They really need her. As we know, yung kanilang mga back-to-back wins has been heavily carried also by the middles of PLDT.
Nice serve by Samoilenko. Karandang. Viray picking it up. Here comes Palomata again through the block. And then back-to-back points for Dan Palomata. This is a 2-point game.
Del Palomata being well activated here as CHERY TIGGO calls for this sense of urgency and head on to the timeout.
Bago niya mapuntahan yung base niya, dapat sumama ka na kasi sinusubo lang ng sinusubo eh. Ngayon, pagka hindi binigay, binato doon sa open-open, pursintuhan na lang, kahabol ka lang, kahabol. Tibay na lang tayo sa depensa. Sino yung nasa harapan? Ako. DJ. Wala na import sa harap, di ba? O, ano tayo? Ab tayo. Tuloy tayo sa ab. Tapos, sumama ko lang, alam mo kung saan kong papalo. Ibigay na ako. Go.
Ready?
One good pass.
It was a 5-point lead at the start for the crossovers. That's down to 2 now. The last 2 points of the high-speed hitters from Del Palomata. Five serving 7. 5th set. You heard Lumer Pajarillo, Herbert Matematico. There's a verbal warning on someone.
Kung lang ha. Kasi pag nag-buzzer na, pwede pasok na kagad din. Huwag na natin hintayin pumito ulit ng pangalawa. Ganun ba lang ha? Paki-advise lang tayo.
All right, took a while for them to come back on the court, so that's a verbal warning on a little bit of a delay on the part of the high-speed hitters. Coach Pasco upset that it's ruining their momentum here. That this little delay. Finally, this serve is going to get going. May lead pa at dug up by Samoilenko, but there's a net touch on Jovi Prado.
These violations and errors are going to hurt the run that PLDT has been trying to make here in the 5th set.
Nabor comes in along with Adorador. Meantime, Jovi Prado sits down and in comes Jules Samonte for the high-speed hitters. Semana back to Palomata. She has the hot hand. Last 3 points of the high-speed hitters coming from Del Palomata. Back to a 2-point game.
Eric, you know that good things happen to PLDT when both Mika Reyes and Del Palomata are performing well, and they seem a bit lost when one is not performing like like their usual.
Palomata, we mentioned, coming off a 15-point performance. There's a block against Adorador, but it goes outside.
Again, Adorador has been really effective as a sub here for CHERY TIGGO. Kahit saan siya ilagay na posisyon, sa opposite, sa open, and even in the back row, she gets to, contribute through those defense. This is the kind of player that you want, no? Na talagang any role na ibigay, talagang they do their job and contribute to the team. As Karandang with that block touch.
Sivijovic, yes! Second timeout here for Coach Pascua. They are down by 4.
Okay, makinig. Pag nagbabalikan na, okay, na-retrieve nila sa Monte, nagka-cut shot, okay? Nagka-cut shot si Samonte, so tibay tayo dito.
Kaysa dun sa long. Kasi lagi niyang pinapanon ng down the line. And then huwag yung sambutin yung bola. Huwag mong habulin dito. Ilagay mo lang, mag-depensa tayo dito. Huwag malikot ang bola. Huwag itapon yung bola sa labas. Ha?
Tibayan nyo lang yung down the line. Tibayan lang, ha?
All right, that's the last timeout for Coach Pascua and the high-speed hitters. Down by 4, set number 5. Mika Reyes.
Again, that connection of Mika Reyes with any center fielded in the court with her. She's been really well established through her time at PLDT.
Still a 3-point deficit against the Maculangan and the high-speed hitters. They have 4 errors in this set, none for the crossovers. That's been one of the telling factors that favors CHERY in the last 2 sets. Oh, Sivijovic knocking it in.
That was coming off an off-system play, but seemed like Sivijovic really liked that set. Coming off from the opposite side of the court from Jasmine Nabor. There were actually 2 people on the floor to defend for PLDT. Reda Maculangan, they've gotten it overhead or underhand naman ito ni Samoilenko, but a successful and clean hit
Wow.
But talking about the successful and clean hit, of course, Mika Reyes again delivering her, I think, 18th point already for PLDT.
Back-to-back points here for Mika Reyes. But they need a couple more stops. So their defense really needs to step up here. They can't just keep outscoring or attempting to outscore the crossovers because that has not worked here in this set. They get a stop on Savijevic. It's a 2-point game.
Parang ito yung kanilang first back-to-back points, no, na nagawa dito sa 5th set kasi usually it's just a momentum stopper and then the next thing is makakapuntos ng magkasunod itong CHERY TIGGO.
All-important serve for Samonte. It's in. Nabor sends it back to Savijevic. Sets into the net. No, according to Lumer Pajarillo, that's off the block. And Savijevic fires it in on the second attempt.
Savijevic acknowledging na mas na-late si Mika dun sa second attempt niya for the block and mas pa-fade away going to the right yung kanyang block. So, papadaanin niya dun sa gap between Basas and Mika Reyes.
There's a challenge here, a block touch challenge by the high-speed hitters.
Well, again, at this point, kailangan mo nang gamitin lahat ng bala mo, even the challenges to cut the momentum and makamalay natin, meron palang hindi nila nakita or naramdaman, pero
But I'm gonna wonder which part of the play are they, asking a challenge for, because
that's one thing that the teams also have to be clear, no? Kasi it doesn't necessarily mean the last sequence.
Yes, exactly. PLDT down by 3 currently, 12-9. And what really hurt them were the errors in the beginning. Currently 4 unforced errors for PLDT, no errors for the crossovers. All right, here we go. No block touch. So challenge is unsuccessful. That's what it says here. It seems like the ball went in the first place. So I think the first and second referee will talk it over. Let's see what we can hear this.
Anong desisyon? Wala na. Lubat na eh. Hindi na nagsasalta eh.
Award mo na dito.
Bakit?
Black touch eh.
Black touch?
No.
Ito nag-challenge eh. Ito nag-challenge na no black touch.
Award mo na dito. Outside.
So I think it seems like PLDT is challenging a play or a sequence prior to the last one. And again, it took them a while to press the buzzer or put up the card. So the only play they replayed was the last one.
So the challenge committee is actually saying that it's okay to challenge the rally while it's ongoing, but you have to click on the challenge right away. Call for it right away.
So unsuccessful challenge. The point will stay with the crossovers as Samoilenko with a dump.
Easy point there for Samoilenko. And again, going back to that donut hole. Medyo naka-adjust na dyan yung CHERY TIGGO in the past sets. But this time around, Samoilenko going back to that because that has been the key to their win in the second set.
2-point game. 10 serving 12. Maylin Paat. Blocked by Del Palomata. It's now a 1-point game.
What an instrumental role Del Palomata is playing here in the 5th set for PLDT. She wanted that block and she got it. And it forces CHERY TIGGO to call for a timeout.
Ready at opposite, okay? You make 5, okay? 5, okay? One good receive tayo, play 2 tayo, gawa mo ng parado sa gitna. Okay, gawin tayo. Okay, go.
Hey, let's go, Jenny!
Go! Atin yan, atin ha. Walang bibitaw.
Biggest lead of the crossovers was 5 points. It's just down to 1 now. Yelena Sivievich with a great game today after putting up 8 points in the loss versus Petrogas. She's really come up big.
What did I tell you, Eric, during the, before we went live? This game's gonna be very exciting. Dahil nga yung momentum ng both teams coming off from back-to-back losses and PLDT coming off from back-to-back wins is gonna be a big factor regardless of how far off they are from the team standings.
Oh, what a serve by Nika Reyes. The crowd roars. Chance ball for PLDT. Opportunity to tie. Samoilenko. Bicar with a save. Durenda sends it to Paat. A little far from the net. Reyes. Del Palomata ties the game at 12.
Del Palomata scoring off her 6th point. Pero yung 6 na puntos na yon, majority nangyari in the 5th set. And it could have been the most important points of any player here in this matchup. A game changer. Del Palomata, what a spike and what a performance here in the 5th set.
Another great serve. And Maylin Paat gives the crossovers the lead right back with a kill.
Both teams really making sure to play as flawless as they can here. Creating their own points instead of relying on the errors of the other.
No more timeouts for both teams. Overpass, easy put away. And the crossovers have 2 match points, 14-12.
Rhea Makulangan signaling na isa-set niya pa lang. Pero naunahan sa doon ni EJ Laure kasi yung receive talagang approaching the side of CHERY TIGGO na.
Sivievich with a serve. Samoilenko saves a match point.
And this game ain't over yet. And you know, ang advantage dito ng PLDT ay frontline pa itong si Samoilenko at Palomata.
Crossovers need a good receive here. They're still at match point. 13 serving 14, 5th set. Laure, dug up by Samonte. They go back to Samoilenko. Samoilenko knocks it in. 2 set-point saves. We're tied at 14.
And the fans are really screaming on their feet. Couldn't get any better than this. Talagang sulit na sulit ang first game and sulit na sulit ang Moho Arena. This is an extended game and an extended set as well.
Bicar sets it up. They go to Paat in the middle. Laure. Chance ball for PLDT. Can they get to that point? Yes, they do. Match point PLDT. From down 5 points, they're 1 point away from the win.
What a game today by Del Palomata. You know, she's been off the first few sets, pero yan naman ang gusto mo sa mga player once you bench them for them to get a better perspective watching off the court and performing better once they get fielded back in.
That's outside? No, it's on the line. There's going to be a challenge here for PLDT. Ball in, ball out. Mylene Paat went cross court, and the call is in by 2 lines judges. This is going to be the last challenge, by the way, for PLDT. They had an unsuccessful challenge earlier. If they are successful, they get the win. And we'll finish at 4-4 in the standings. Oh, it's well in. So no more challenges remaining for PLDT. And a match point saved by the crossovers.
The top 3 scorers of CHERY TIGGO are now in the front line, an all-local front line for Alina Bicar to maximize.
Still,
But at the same time, on the side of PLDT naman, Samoylek and Palomata still in front.
Samoylenko with the dump. Oh! Again, Lena Samoylenko. An easy point in the middle. And PLDT back up at match point.
What a smart player there is in Samoylenko.
Bicar. Laure. Arado saves it. Samonte will attack. Samonte sends it into the net. Match point lost once again. Both teams losing 2 match points each.
That was a tough attempt by Samonte. Off system, nakatalikod pa siya approaching the ball. So, mataas na talaga yung chance na hindi niya maitawid yun. But this time, Mylene Paat going to the back line.
Di makulangan. Palomata! That's outside. Del Palomata. Oh, wait a minute. The call is outside, but officials... No. Numer Parrillo corrects himself. Gives the point to the crossovers. Palomata, attack error. And the crossovers are at match point again.
What a match. Talagang lahat talaga ng play, lahat ng movements ng players sa court, very important as Buding Durentes gets to that ball. And they give off a free ball here.
Palomata. Outside again. Back-to-back attack errors. Del Palomata. And the crossovers snap a 2-game losing streak with a W here in 5 sets.
And you see the players of PLDT also consoling. Ito si Del Palomata, but we have to give it to her. Talagang ang ganda na naging performance niya in the 5th set. It's just that magandang naging kapit ng CHERY TIGGO. Everyone working well. You see Buding Durentes getting to every ball as much as she can. And Alina Bicar, ang ganda rin ng mga naging decision-making. Diba? Delivering to Mylene Paat, to Seviovic, and even making use of EJ Laure and Carandang. So, it was a total team effort from both teams. It just so happened na the fate of CHERY TIGGO is really better today. We can't say na it's out of luck dahil tinrabaho talaga nila yan. So, kudos to PLDT. And, you know, everyone screaming. You know what that means. The next game is up.
Everybody's excited for the Cool Smashers Flying Titans, but again, a 5-set win by the crossovers after dropping their last 2 games. They bounce back with a big win here today against the high-speed hitters. Yelena Seviovic, after an 8-point performance in the loss against Signal, bounces back big today. Mela.
That's right, and you know, majority talaga ng mga run na ginawa ng CHERY TIGGO dahil most likely nakukuha nila yung set kapag malalaki yung lamang nila. So, those leads were actually created by Seviovic, and she's had a lot of support also from Paat, and buti na lang even Carandang played very well towards the mid-game. So, we have to credit talaga itong si Sivijovic, you know, on top of all those points. Ang dami niya rin talaga na depensan today as the all-around player we've watched her to be. So, a big boost for the whole team entering the semifinals. This is their last game, I believe, and secured of their slot in the semifinals already.
They finished 6-2 in the win-loss column. And our best player of the game, Yelena Sivijovic. Take a look at the shot inside the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. A crowd anticipating the marquee matchup between the Flying Titans and the Cool Smashers. But a big win again here today for the Crossovers, snapping a 2-game losing streak, and they finished 6-2 in the standings. You have to feel for Del Palomata. Obviously, they tried their best. They did their best, but it just wasn't good enough, as they will really bow out of contention for a semi-final slot and will finish at 3-5 after the preliminary round. And their match statistics after 5 sets.
And look at how close this matchup really is. In terms of attacks, isa lang yung disparity. Sa blocks, PLDT got ahead by 2 block points, and we know that that has been their strength talaga in the league as a whole. And in aces, equalized by 6, pero it's really the errors of CHERY TIGGO na muntik nang bigay ng panalo din sa PLDT. Of course, nabawi naman nila yan with their other attack points, and the errors also of PLDT being very timely and costly dahil nangyari yun nung 5th set. As we know, ang tagal na nangyayari nung 5th set, wala pa rin error itong CHERY TIGGO. So you know that they really wanted to stay as flawless in that last set.
And this is what's coming up. The Flying Titans wanna keep their chances alive for a semi-final slot as they go up against the semi-final bound Cool Smashers. Thanks to our director Marvin Chavez. For Rain Tixon, Mela Tunay, I'm Eric Tipan. Stand by for the Flying Titans Cool Smashers next, right here on One Sports.
Hello, mic text. Mic check. Hello, hello. It's called, energy. Energy.
Ayun na nga. Diyos ko. O mga mapis, ganito ang gagawin natin ha, Sandra ha. Namumuro ka dito. May chika to.
Hello, mic test. Hello. Hello, PVL. I'm Lexi. Okay. Energy. Smile. Okay. Hello. Hello, mic test. Hi, everybody. Welcome to... Okay. It's called everyone's favorite game for no reason. Oh, sorry. PA? Oh, everyone can hear me? Lovely. Okay. Hello. Energy, energy, energy. Woo! Let's go! It's called everyone's favorite matchup for a reason because nothing is more exciting when one team wants to keep winning and the other team wishes to finally get over their sister team. Let's see who comes out on top as Creamline versus Chocomucho battle it out. Hello everybody, I'm Lexi Rodriguez and this is the PVL.
Nasa taas, yun ang monitor natin, ha? Ready? Okay, Lexi. Lexi, ready? Okay, sila na ba kayo?
Energy. Smile.
Yan. Ganyan ang pwesto niya, ha? Okay, energy po tayo.
Okay, ready? It's called everyone's favorite matchup because... sorry, I'm gonna do it one more time. Last na. It's called everyone's favorite matchup for a reason as one team wishes to battle it out with their sister team. And let's see who comes out on top as Creamline versus Chocomucho go head-to-head this night. Hello everybody, I'm Lexi Rodriguez. This is the PVL.
It's called everyone's favorite matchup for a reason because nothing is more exciting